It's time for Arts This Week, your download of the latest arts and culture events in and around town. The new MIT Museum is awesome. I mean that in the truest sense of the word. This is a brand new space with a collection that will leave you in awe. The future breathes here, even if with its AI emphasis, they're often synthetic breaths. But let me back up for a moment. For years, the famed school told its story in a cramped, nondescript building in Cambridge. Now it's moved down the street into the heart of Kendall Square, in an exquisitely designed three-floor space that intends, the school says, to turn MIT inside out. That means seeing some of humanity's greatest innovation for yourself. The Starshade pedal that's allowed NASA to photograph exoplanets, part of the machine that helped sequence the human genome, an instrument playing a 200-year-long song, partly inspired by whales. Now for the even more awesome and sobering. The MIT Museum devotes considerable attention to artificial intelligence, work of the past and of the now. There's also AI collaborative poetry. The AI program and I wrote a poem together. It was a process I found both seductive and disturbing. And to that end, MIT wants there to be discussion and critical thought here. So it also populates the museum with artists interrogating innovation. I have never been in a space like this, and for it, I was changed. The Davis Museum at Wellesley College brings a monumental work to the region, a scrolling digital panorama by New Zealand artist Lisa Rehana. A hit at the 2017 Venice Biennale, the piece is titled In Pursuit of Venus, Infected. The artist's prompt is a scenic wallpaper very much in vogue in France in the early 1800s, coming on the heels of Captain James Cook's voyages in the South Seas. It was called The Savages of the Pacific Ocean and exoticized indigenous peoples, stripping them of their culture and depicting them in a classical setting. Calling it a, quote, fabulation invented in someone else's elsewhere, Rehana has reinterpreted the wallpaper. Her panorama scrolls for roughly a half hour. The Maori artist stages a cross-cultural encounter between indigenous people and members of Captain Cook's crew. We observe dance and ceremony and scientific exchange, but we also see strife and assault. We witness it all from the land, from the indigenous person's perspective. The setting, trees, seas, and mountains, was all hand-painted and then digitized. Rehana's panorama is immensely absorbing. The history of the wallpaper is a fascinating excavation, and the effort by the Davis Museum to bring the work here is staggering. Here's the other reason to visit Salem in October, the Punto Urban Art Museum, a public art district where art lives through some 75 ever-changing murals in the city's neighborhood known as El Punto, or The Point. Here, buildings double as towering gallery walls featuring portraits, landscapes, and dreams. It's a museum for and of the community, because all of the murals are emblazoned on buildings owned by the North Shore Community Development Coalition, a nonprofit group providing affordable housing and health services to the area. The artists behind this maze of murals are a combination of Salem residents and artists with a Hispanic background who take time to learn about the community before making their mark. So take a stroll and keep your head up, literally, because at the Punto Urban Art Museum, art is everywhere you look.
Oh my God, that's Aaron. He's very hot.
Gay guys are so stupid.
I know, but we've been smart enough to brand ourselves as being smart.
It's our little secret.
That's a scene from Bros, a new romantic comedy starring and co-written by comedian Billy Eichner. There are significant firsts for this movie. The first gay rom-com from a major studio. The first studio film with an openly gay man starring and writing. In other words, it's the first time since the invention of film that a gay story in the tradition of Bringing Up Baby or Sleepless in Seattle is getting mainstream support. A shockingly long time. Bros delightfully settles into the rom-com hallmarks, a montage through changing seasons, the Nat King Cole flavored soundtrack, foursomes. Okay, maybe the romantic part of the comedy is redefined with some sauciness here. The writing is sharp, illustrating how much of the gay struggle remains embedded even in the freshest, most adorable romances. History has been made with Bros. Here's hoping it's a milestone and not a one-off memorial. And now my pick for the week to come. Actors Shakespeare Project opens its season with the play Let the Right One In, a vampire coming-of-age story with roots in Romeo and Juliet. I'll see you at the theater and back here next week.